Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staten here on the Daily Damn Blog, and I got a special for Dave Sunstorm today. Today I'm taking on the good stuff. That's right, I'm going on down the road to Lidsville. Does anybody remember the TV show Lidsville? Well, let me do you a really quick little intro here. Lidsville was a surreal 1970s children's show from Sid and Marty KROFTT about a boy named Mark Butch Patrick who falls into a magical world of living hats, ruled by the villainous magician Horatio J. Hoodoo, played by Charles Nelson Riley. Now, you know, any book that features an evil magician has to be a good one, right? So let's bust it open and let's travel on down the road to Lidsville. Well, at least they didn't waste the inside cover. That's right. You get an inside cover from Mark Jewelers, and you're a mark. If you buy any jewelry from this company, get it, you're a mark, because it's way overpriced crap for 1972. You know, I love a comic book when it says #1, and our story starts off with the beginning of the show. Apparently, it's like episode 1 in a comic book, you know? Comic book 1, episode 1, that's right. It starts where young Mark falls down. His name was Mark, right? Yeah, young Mark falls down the evil magician's giant hat. I really should show that intro where he winds up in Lidsville, where he's accused of being a spy right off the rip.
So began the day that Mark was never to forget. He performed all sorts of miracles, and Mark was so impressed that when the time arrived to go, he lagged behind the rest. Then quietly he did return the secret of the hat to learn, but everyone had gone away, and darkness held a threat. The moment that he touched the hat, the room began to glow, and as he put it down and ran, the hat began to grow and 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 grow
And
and grow.
grow.
And he was fascinated, still he had to see. There was something deep inside the hat. What could that something be? Then cautiously each step he took, he climbed upon the brim to look, and all at once the hat began to shake and rock. Look out! Falling, into the hat he fell, spinning, turning, whirling, twirling, down, down. And when he looked into the skies, he couldn't believe his ears or eyes. Lidsville is a cookies, Lidsville is a kiss, Lidsville is a cookies, Lidsville is a living and friend. If you get a chance to go there, you'll be glad you did. 'Cause everybody who goes to Lidsville really flips his lid.
So as Mark recounts his story to the hat people, in the story you just saw of how he winds up in Lidsville, I figured it was easier to show you than to tell you about it. Did you enjoy my little copyright claim? Along came an evil magician. Uh-oh. Horatio Hoodoo. I think all evil magicians look alike. And it don't take long before he's carried before Hoodoo and meets more of the incredible hat people of Lidsville. I love this old comic book. I used to watch this show. I always wondered why my older teenage brothers loved it so much. You know, this was one of the few shows they watched with me. Uh-oh. Holy crap! 3-dimensional stickums? How did I miss 3-dimensional stickums? I don't guess I was ordering too much out of comic books in 1972. I was only 7 years old back then. As Mark meets more and more of the hat people, I love this part right here is where Billy Hayes shows up, the legendary genie, who also was in another Sid and Marty KROFTT show. Can you name in the comments which show Billy Hayes played Witchy Poo in? also plays Jeannie in the Lidsville series. Yes, I remember all this stuff. I'm very impressive like that, right? Well, it don't take long before Hoodoo orders Jeannie to turn him into a Tootsie Roll. That's right, turn Mark into a Tootsie Roll. Well, she won't turn Mark into a Tootsie Roll, so they both get locked up in the dungeon. But you can't lock a genie up in a dungeon. Mark says, I'll get the ring and then you can be my genie. And Jeannie's all for it. Can't lock a genie up in a cage, can you? Of course, Hoodoo's planning how to torture the citizens of Hat Town down there, Lidsville. And he's debating on which evil weather event shall besiege them. And accidentally chooses wind, which creates a storm. Hoodoo and everything in the room is spinning. It's at that point Jeannie and Mark show up. Oh my good gravy. Right when Hoodoo spins by, Mark grabs the magic ring from his finger. Hoopity poopity doo, Mark's in charge. Jeannie, can we get out of here, please? And Jeannie, being the worst genie in history, puff! What a landing they stuck. But they're rescued by some of the friendly hats from Lidsville. As the whatever in the heck weird-ass hat this is, looks like he's from the Monopoly game. Notice the monocle, 1972. He's supposed to be the Monopoly-looking guy. They always have a monocle. As Hoodoo searches for the genie, Mark, and the ring. What an inept crew. Cannons that don't work, hoses that fire at the wrong people, the arrows that can't be fired. They can't stop Hoodoo. And then we get one of the greatest car commercials of all time for some really cool SSP models. I used to have all these bad boys back in the day. His cowboy hat misses with a lasso. Football hat, I guess you'd call him Mr. Helmet, chucks a football that Hoodoo zaps down with one finger. Bzzz. Wow, Hoodoo's dangerous. Jeannie and Mark fall from floating hat down to the ground to meet Colonel Hat, and now I just want to cry. So in full panels, brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, I do it again. A battle ensues between Hoodoo and the genie. Hoodoo flies over, zapping at them. I don't know what happens if it was to hit them. Maybe he turns them to dust. I don't know, but he's zapping at them. Genie retaliates with a rain of coconuts. Whoa, that fills the evil hat full of coconuts and causes him to crash. Yes, crash to the ground. What an evil magician. What an evil magician. And with Hoodoo defeated, Mark and Jeannie decide to stay with the really, what the heck, cool hats down in Lidsville. And then we get commercials for the really cool back patches of 1972. You know, I have to admit, I had quite a few of the back patches from 1972. I had a lot of back patches and little patches, and yeah, everywhere I looked, I saw that one. Oops. Well, I think I finally found something my man Dave Sunstorm calls the good stuff. So let me do a few shout-outs. A special shout-out to Dave Sunstorm and his incredible brother Steven Sunstorm. The good stuff, guys, here on YouTube. Guys, you got my condolences for the loss of your father. It hits deep and it hits hard. I lost my father, too. A special shout-out to E. McGill, the Unapologetic Geek. You can see me over on the Unapologetic Geek shows every Sunday at 1 p.m. where recently we fought the devil and we won. Be sure to check out my friend Thrash Pondo Ponds. You can see me with Thrash Pondo Ponds every other Sunday on his channel and My Flock Is Everywhere, where we take on all the really cool topics. This coming Sunday, we will have Eric Wood from Hair Metal Revolution coming in to talk heavy metal music and movies with us. It's going to be an awesome good time. And if we're lucky, we'll have a relative of David Lee Roth with us too. Oh, be sure to check out the Brain Benders banner. You know, you can see me there every Saturday night. Be sure to check out my friend, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. He's got the books called True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1 and Book 2 out. And they are some of the most impressive cryptid books out there. On the cryptid subject, be sure to check out Blue Line Bigfoot and Caucasian Sasquatch. With special shout-outs to Pat McCormick at the Golden Rage of TV, BK on the air, Big Guys 45, my girl Sarah, my flock is everywhere, the best producer on YouTube, the Nostalgic Pod Blast with my guy Chance, Retro, a Nerd Girl, and the Life and Sad Endings channel. I swear, I should update that list with people like Shin Godzilla and all my other friends too. I will do that one day. So once again, in full panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog. You get the Plaid Hatters Tea Party. Dun, 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 dun. That's right, our evil hoodoo's at it again. Our evil one, the evil magician from Las Vegas. He's got a plan. He's gonna lie to everybody in Lidsville in an attempt to trick Mark and Jeannie and to get his magic ring back. He's pretending to be a good guy. He's pretending to be nice. Boy, that's what evil magicians do. Yes, that's right. He has an evil plot. He's going to be a nice guy. He must stop them before they learn how to use the flying carpet and escape his custody. They're going to fly to Lidsville. Whatever will this evil magician do? Yes, with a sneaky, rotten trickery, I'm keeping with my new image. But of course, he's being spied on by the Hatters, and the Hats are going to run back and tell somebody. You almost bet on that one, right? And in 1972, for $1 each, you could have had hand-painted plastic pin-ons. That's right, little pins, hat pins of Snoopy and Charlie Brown, and I never even heard of these. These are, I never had the Snoopy pins. If I'd have seen these, I probably would have ordered me a Snoopy pin. I would have chose that one. Which one would you have chose? So in more full panels brought to you by the Daily Dan Blog, you can see Witchy Poo cast the spell of Big Nose. That's right, the spell of Big Nose. And in the spell of Big Nose, if Hoodoo lies, his nose shall grow big and wide. If anybody lies for the next 24 hours, their nose will grow big and wide. So Hoodoo plans the tea party. He's going to invite them over. He's going to slip them the wee whoppy Bill Cosby treat so they'll go unconscious, because that's what evil magicians from Las Vegas do. They slip you the Bill Cosby treat. But every time somebody tells a lie, their nose grows big. See, this guy's already told a lie and his nose is growing. Yeah, and as the nose grows big and you eat the cookies, you have a problem. You go nose down, clonk. What an evil magician. So to recap, evil magician has spiked cookies that if you eat them will cause your nose to grow to immense size. An evil spell it is. Meanwhile, Jeannie and Mark debate whether they should take the Mad Hatter Hoodoo up on his offer for dinner and a truce. They hide their little flying carpet. Question: if Hoodoo's hat is his flying apparatus, why does he need their flying carpet so bad? I do not understand. So they show up at Hoodoo's. Hoodoo's being nice. Hoodoo's being cool. He's being a nice fake magician. Yep, he's pretending to be good. He offers them some cookies and suggests they both have one at the same time. Mark's a little too smart for that and says no thanks, but Jeannie whoops down the cookies of fear. Unbeknownst to me, Hoodoo, or even the Hat people, each cookie has a different effect. Where one made the witch's nose grow, the genie with the big nose, they grab Mark and shove a cookie down his throat. Whoever thought this would happen? But Mark shrunk down to the size of the little people, and now his ring don't fit. Uh-oh, he's going to lose his magic ring. Will Hoodoo get control of the ring and the genie and the magic again? Genie can't do nothing to help because of the incredible size of the nose. You would think a genie could use their magic to put their nose back? I don't know, they're chasing Minnie Mark around. And with excitement like that, you gotta have a commercial for the coolest stuff that ever existed. I've talked about this so many times before. I don't really want to talk about it now, but I had most of this stuff. And I definitely had the giant Frankenstein one, and maybe a Dracula one, maybe even a werewolf one. I'm not sure I had the ghost one. I had all the rest of them. Genie's no help as the big nose traps Genie to the ground. The hats scream, "Let us help you," and hoist the nose into the air, but it's too late. Hoodoo has stole the magic carpet, evil magician. The evil magician now has the magic carpet. Oh my, that sends everybody into major stress. And so in the last full panels brought to you by the blog, we get the end of the Lidsville story. It's at this point a lucky throw from Cowboy Hat. A lucky throw. He couldn't hit nothing with his guns. He couldn't lasso nothing, but he can throw a cookie like a boomerang. Look at, she's been shaped like a little boomerang. And it runs right in Hoodoo's mouth. And suddenly Hoodoo's nose begins to grow, and that causes the magic carpet to fall to the ground and crash. Hoodoo winds up stuck up by the nose. Stuck up by the nose in the hard ground. Yes, Hoodoo's nose grows to incredible excess size. Genie and Mark celebrate with all the little hats as Hoodoo's carried back off to his castle to recuperate, and I'm not even going to say what the giant thing on his face looks like. I'm going to let you figure that out. Can you put that in the comments below for me? Wah, wah, wah. They ended it with a few really cool commercials at the end. I had that revolutionary set of war toys. I even had the World War II little stick figures. They were crap. Same on the back cover. They were all in them prizes back in 1972, boy. Wow, that's my look at Lidsville, #1 from 1972, starring Butch Patrick and Charles Nelson Riley. And Billy Hayes is Genie. I love this book. It's in really good shape to be old as it is. It's probably a 2.1. The worst thing about it is Kathy Rich wrote on the front of it, "Kathy Rich, I hope somebody kicks you in the face." And, I'm sorry. I can't stand it when people write on the covers of comic books. It just really irks me. Well, that's my look at this comic book. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure, the art in this comic book's really good, by the way. I think whoever drew it did an exceptional job. And that's my look at Lidsville, 1972, #1. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and I'll be back with another really cool comic book next week. Probably another Kroft thing, and since I did the Bigfoot Sid and Marty KROFTT thing last week, I'm doing Lidsville this week. I'll do another one next week as we mourn the sad passing of Sid KROFTT. Rest in peace, Sid and Marty KROFTT, the greatest creators of kids shows the 70s ever had. Till next time, blog over.